on us later. So first of all, I would like to thank Jerry. So Jerry is ATC. He will introduce himself shortly. But I'm very happy and glad that he is supporting RealSky. That will be, as I'm saying, means we are not, obviously a non-profitable organization, but I would say that the RealSky jersey are our best seller because it's a very good way to use a simulator and practice some exercise that are really beneficial for real life flights. So as I told you, Jerry, we used to do that in the past using people with a very good level of English, but they were not controllers, not ATCs. So sometimes it was a bit strange, not fully tied to the real life. So with you, will just be perfect. So maybe just first introduce yourself quickly, and then we can, brief, give the best tips to the pilots, and obviously they will have questions. And thanks again for supporting us.
No problems, Bruno. My name's Jerry, as you probably figured. I'm a controller at Jersey, radar and tower. I've been doing the job for 33 years. I'm also a unit examiner, OJTI, and various other bits and bobs on the side, but I'm trying to drop that now. This is a bit different for me, but I shall do my best. As I said, I can speak a little bit of French, not a huge amount, probably a little bit more aeronautical French, having flown in France in the past. And I do use it sometimes in Jersey if French pilots are having difficulty with the English, but I'm sure you guys will not have a problem.
Okay, we will do our. So, so tomorrow you will have flights from France, and actually you might have some flights directly, outbound from Jersey. And even if I understood correctly, one guy would like to have local flights, which is good. So maybe without discussing the weather that we have planned for tomorrow, can you give us, the key tips about Jersey? Means what we should do coming from France, or what we should do, going to France.
Yeah, no problem. You're probably aware that to enter the Channel Islands airspace, you have to have a flight plan filed. For local flights, we don't necessarily need a flight plan. That would be done over the phone with our supervisor, but for the purposes of this exercise, it's probably just as easy to do that. You must get clearance to enter the Channel Island controlled airspace before doing so. It's Class D up to 80. So depending on the weather, you will probably get a VFR clearance in, but if we have clouds below 1,500 feet, or if the visibility drops below 5 kilometers, then the clearance will be special VFR. From your point of view, it won't make much difference. From my point of view, if you are on a special VFR clearance, then I will provide separation. On a VFR clearance, basically you are responsible for your own separation and terrain clearance. So on first contact, I would give you a squawk, find out your altitude, and then give you a clearance to one of the VRPs, depending on which runway we're using. If it's 26, it would be Noirmont Point. If it's for 08, then Corbière. If you're coming from the south. If you're coming from the east, then you would probably get routed initially to the southeast corner, and north join would be to the Fremont TV mast. That would normally be your clearance limit, and when you are closer to the field, you would be cleared on to final, subject to traffic. Any questions?
If you could, hello, it's Guy. If we thank you for your participation, Jerry. If we come from Carteret example, and 26 runway is in use, do we have to go to via Fremont?
Hi Guy, no, if you're coming from the east, you may, if it's very quiet, and certainly the way traffic is at the moment, you would probably get cleared straight in. But the published procedure is routing via the southeast corner and then onwards to Noirmont to join left base for 26.
Southeast, Corbière, and join left base.
For 2-6, it would be southeast and Noirmont.
Noirmont, thanks, Jerry.
Jerry, one question for me. What about the altitudes? Means I know that we shall not be above specific one.
Well, on departure, your clearance will be, if you're departing out of Jersey, will be not above 1,000 feet. For inbound aircraft, really, there is no restriction up to 80 because we can accept VFR up to 80. Usually, for the most part, south joiners from Rennes, Dinard direction tend to come in at about 3,000 feet. But we will clear you in at a level appropriate to the traffic we have at the time. Obviously, when you're flying around over the sea, you don't want to be too low, so if we can keep you high, we will.
Okay.
We can also, if you request it, vector you for ILSs if you are VFR. Obviously, then we'd expect you to comply with any headings and altitude restrictions, although it would still be your responsibility on a VFR flight plan to ensure you remain clear of weather and clear of terrain.
What is the altitude of the circuit pattern?
Sorry, guys, say again?
What is the altitude of the circuit pattern?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. The altitude of the...
The circuit pattern. So if we fly some touch and goes around the Jersey, what's the altitude of the circuit?
Got you. Yeah, it's always to the south, so whichever runway you are on, it would be to the south. You have to fly the majority of the pattern over the sea, and the clearance would be not above 2,000 feet.
Okay, not above 2,000, thanks.
Okay, but there is not a specific one. You don't have to be at 1,500 or something like that. It's just not above 2,000. It's up to the pilot then.
Yeah, that's it. Not above 2,000 feet. That enables you to comply with all the noise abatement procedures and the low-level rule and all that sort of thing under the new SERA regulations.
So an important point, as you said, it's always in the south, southbound of the airfield.
Yeah, so if you're on 2.6, it will be a left-hand circuit, 0.8 right-hand circuit, always to the south. You can request circuit to the north, but it's not normally done. If there's no traffic, we may allow it, but not normally is not something we'd normally allow to happen. The reason for that is most of our arrivals, scheduled IFR arrivals, tend to come from the north, and it enables us to keep the tiddlers, the little aircraft, out of the way to the south, giving the commercials a chance to make a visual approach without having to worry about looking out for small aircraft. Sure, and if we are coming, because I do remember what I did in the past, if you are coming from east, from France or Saint-Malo from the south, you actually join directly at the base. I mean, if this is 2.6. Sorry, try that again, Bruno. I'm just saying that if you come via, Saint-Germain, which is east or south, Minkies, usually you are able to join the base directly. Yeah, it depends on who the controller is. The procedure is that you're cleared to the VRPs, Noirmont or Corbière initially, but if there's no traffic around, you may be cleared direct to left or right base on first contact. It is possible, but the procedure is supposed to be to Noirmont and then onwards to left base, or Corbière onwards right base. Okay, so just to be clear for the guys, Corbière is a lighthouse, so it's at the southwest, as I remember, and Noirmont is basically just south of the airport. I mean, it's compared to Saint-Hélier, in the main city, it's a little bit west. Yeah, if you're coming to Jersey, on the south coast there is a very large bay, a beach, so Noirmont is at the western end of that, at the headland at the western end. It is actually a black and white tower, which is pretty obvious when you get closer. And yeah, Corbière is a lighthouse off the southwest corner. That is very obvious.
Yeah, so basically you have the main city, Saint-Hélier, then the bay, and then Noirmont. That's correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it clear for you guys?
Yeah,
No, it's crystal clear.
Yeah, it's clear. Just a question concerning the noise abatement arrival. I read that we have to maintain at least 1,277 feet sea level until intercepting the ILS glide path or PAP indication. But where is this? Where can I find this point?
It would be in the UK Air Pilot, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to come below 1,000 feet over the land until you are in the approach funnel. However, we don't enforce it. If you are very low, then yeah, there would be an issue. But if you are flying at 1,000 feet just below cloud, you won't have an issue.
Okay, thanks.
We would rather you maintain VMC than fly into cloud.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
And if we were to wait before joining the base, so we would have to orbit, where would we be? Noirmont and Corbière or elsewhere?
That really depends on traffic. Normally, if it's just one aircraft, if you're waiting for a commercial, then yeah, it would be Noirmont or Corbière. However, if we have multiple arrivals, you could be held further out. You could be held at the southeast corner, for example, or possibly even if someone is already holding at the VRP, we may ask you to do an orbit in your present position, wherever that is.
Okay.
Okay, it's clear. Thanks.
What about the frequencies? So,
we try not to vector, obviously, VFR aircraft too much because of not being able to see necessarily what the weather is going to be doing in that area. We tend to leave you to your own devices. If you can see another aircraft, then we will usually ask you to follow it, and that will be the end of the story. Frequencies, well, the frequency for approach would be 120.350. They tend to be for aircraft joining from the south up to 5,000, from any other direction up to 3,000. And if you're joining, I guess it won't be you guys so much, if you're joining from the UK from the north, then the frequency would be 125.225.
Yeah, I assume that most of us will join either east, south, maybe southwest, for people coming from Lannion or this, Britannia, I mean.
Yeah, that would be 120.350, 305 even.
Okay, and this is your approach, and then we switch to tower when we are asked for.
Yeah, when the approach controller transfers you to tower 119.455, then you go to tower. Normally it would be when you're within 8 miles of the airfield and have visual contact with the airfield, as long as there's no other traffic around.
Good. I see on TeamSpeak that Alan Jonas is the one that is planning a local flight, so maybe just... So you confirm that there is no need of your flight plans for a local flight, even if you are French?
No, if you want to, hi Alain, if you want to do a local flight in Jersey, you would normally, as long as you're not going through Guernsey or Albany, but if you're staying within the local Jersey area, you would normally make a telephone call to the supervisor, and they will put a short flight plan in for you. If the clearance will always be VFR not above 1,000 feet for any local flights for around the island, or if you wish to operate in the local training areas to the south.
Do you have some kind of rules when we are doing, for example, sightseeing? It's clockwise, anti-clockwise, or any special local rules, or it's up to the pilots?
Normally, we would expect you to route along the south coast initially. So if you're departing from 08, it would be a right turn out to the southeast corner. If it's on 26, a left turn out via Corbière. But if you were to ask the tower for a non-standard a non-standard clockwise around the island, then yeah, we can certainly accommodate it subject to traffic.
Okay, thanks.
A lot of local flights as well, they tend to visit the Écraheuses Reef, which is about 5 miles northeast of the northeast corner of Jersey. So when the local when the Aero Club were flying, they used to take their students and beginners out there to look at the reef. It's quite a nice area.
Where is it actually?
It's called Les Écraheuses. It's about 5 miles, about halfway between the northeast corner of Jersey St Catharines and Carteret.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you're there at high tide, there's not a lot, but at low tide, it's quite a big reef with a few houses on.
Good. What about circuit patterns? Can we do touch and go? As a training, is it possible?
Yeah, certainly you can do touch and goes. Again, the circuit, as I said, is to the south, not above 2,000 feet. You may get held again at Corbière or Noirmont, depending on the runway. If there's more than one aircraft in the circuit, then you may. It's rare these days, but you may get held at Noirmont and Corbière.
Okay. One more question. Go ahead. Jerry, you was about to say something? Sorry, say again? It looks like ATC is repeating. We have some echo, yeah. Okay, I think we had the ATC. Okay, back to normal. Yeah, no, one question about taxiing, because we used to go to the Aero Club, which unfortunately she bankrupt, if I got it correctly, last year. So if we are a light aircraft, where do we go now?
You must have been reading my mind. That was my next thing. Now you have to be, it's compulsory to be handled in Jersey, which I'm sure you all know, and the handler now would be Gamma Aviation. So you would be sent to the southeast part of the airfield to Gamma Aviation and park on the eastern apron. They always have a marshal to show you where to park, and then they would sort out at the moment any COVID testing that needs done and take landing fees and all that sort of business.
Good, so it would be new, because everyone used to know how to go to the airfield, to the Aero Club, but it would be interesting to know, to see tomorrow.
Yeah, if it was for real, it would be a lot more expensive as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. Do you know the price, handling fee?
I don't, I'm afraid, but I know they do charge more than they used to at the Aero Club. I don't think they're charging the full whack at the moment that they do, because in theory they are a biz jet operation, but they've taken on the light aircraft just to enable people to still come to Jersey. So I think it's a lesser fee than it would normally be or normally would have been, but it's still, I believe, more expensive than the Aero Club.
Good. Guys, some questions? I'm the one asking all the questions, or most of the questions.
Yes, I have a question. What's the apron for light aircraft?
Yeah, that is the eastern apron. So It is south of or southeast of the new tower. Basically, you would be, if you're landing on 26, you would probably vacate at Delta, then taxi via Bravo and Juliet to the Eastern Apron. If you're landing on 08, then it would be to vacate at Foxtrot and then taxi